The sky over Chicago turned a sickly green, a warning no one could ignore. Clouds twisted violently, swallowing the city's usual sounds in a heavy, unnatural silence. In Rogers Park, people looked up, fear prickling their skin. Something was terribly wrong. The wind struck without mercy, slamming into Lakeside Manor like a battering ram. Windows rattled, trees bent, and the building groaned under the assault. Residents huddled in hallways, the storm clawing at every weakness. Rain came sideways, driven by winds over 90 miles per hour. Hail followed. Golf ball-sized ice smashing cars and awnings, the roar deafening. The violence was everywhere. There was nowhere to hide. Then, with a shriek of tearing metal, the roof was ripped away. The top floor was suddenly open to the storm, insulation and debris sucked into the sky. Wind and rain poured in, flooding apartments in seconds. The fortress was breached, the building's heart exposed. For the people inside, the nightmare had only just begun. The world outside was chaos, but inside, survival was all that mattered. The storm was no longer a threat. It was an invader, and it would not be denied. August 16th, 2025, began with deceptive calm. A humid haze, a typical summer day. Weather alerts flashed, but few took them seriously. Storms were routine in Chicago. Maria Flores watered her plants, sensing a strange vibration in the building. She glanced at Lake Michigan. Its waters churned, the sky darkened at unnatural speed. Unease crept in. On the second floor, David Chen tried to soothe his infant daughter as the air grew heavy and charged. His weather app's warnings escalated, seek shelter immediately. The first gust hit, a violent shove that made the building groan. Lights flickered, and the wind's wail grew louder. The sky turned from purple to black in minutes. Streetlights blinked on at midday. Rain pelted the windows like stones. Then the tornado siren began, a chilling, rising wail. Suddenly, the threat was real. Panic set in as the building shook. Residents scrambled for safety, the storm's whispers now a full-throated scream. The city's routine had shattered. In moments, the abstract danger became a fight for survival. The storm was no longer distant. It was here. The building's walls felt thin. Every second, the fear grew. The storm was coming for them all. There was no more time to prepare. The only choice was to endure and hope. The true danger announced itself with a grinding, screeching roar from above. For those on the top floor, it was the sound of their protection vanishing. Maria Flores grabbed her dog and ran, leaving everything behind. Lights died, plunging the halls into darkness as water poured down the stairwells, a black, debris-filled torrent. Panic erupted. Parents shielded children, neighbors helped the fallen. The building was now a death trap, the wind howling through shattered halls. David Chen clutched his daughter, joining the desperate crowd. Doors were sucked open, windows exploded inward, chaos everywhere. The storm was inside, destroying everything in its path. For minutes that felt like hours, residents fought to escape. Survival was measured in seconds and inches. The building's safety was gone. The only goal, get out alive. The storm had claimed the heart of Lakeside Manor. The storm vanished as quickly as it came, leaving behind a haunting silence. Residents emerged to a world transformed, debris everywhere, cars crushed, power lines down. The morning sun revealed the full devastation. Lakeside Manor's roof gone, apartments exposed to the sky. Walls collapsed, personal belongings scattered in the rubble. The building was a raw wound in the neighborhood. Firefighters and police cordoned off the area. Engineers assessed the damage. The verdict was swift. The building was unstable. No one could return. Residents, shivering on the sidewalk, faced a second blow. Their homes were lost, just out of reach. Officials took names, checked for missing people. Miraculously, everyone survived. Relief was brief. The loss was overwhelming. Security, memories, futures, all torn away. The building was no longer a home, but a symbol of what had been lost. The reality set in. Recovery would be long and uncertain. The storm had taken more than just walls and roofs. It had uprooted lives and left a community searching for hope. Maria Flores clutched her trembling dog, staring at the ruins of her home. "Everything is gone," she whispered. David Chen's only thought was to protect his baby. "We're safe. That's what matters," he said. Arthur and Eleanor sat stunned, their home condemned. Survivors stood together, united by loss, searching for comfort. The future was unknown, but they had survived. For now, that was enough. The city's emergency response was swift. Mayor Johnson arrived, promising help and listening to residents' stories. Temporary shelter was set up at a nearby school. The Red Cross provided essentials. City departments coordinated emergency housing, food, and counseling. Streets and sanitation cleared debris, while buildings officials posted red "Do Not Enter" signs on Lakeside Manor. The building was now a hazard zone, not a home. Residents were grateful for help, but every official action underscored their loss. A cot in a gym was not a bed. A voucher was not a home. "They can't give me back my home," Maria said quietly. The city's safety net caught some, but not all, of what was lost. The wound was deeper than any bureaucracy could heal. The real work of recovery had only begun. In the days after the storm, Lakeside Manor's residents became refugees in their own city. Life was reduced to lines for food, forms for aid, and endless waiting. The bureaucracy was a second storm, slow, impersonal, exhausting. Finding new housing was nearly impossible. The market was tight. Documents lost in the wreckage. David Chen scrolled through listings, frustration mounting. Everything was too expensive or too far. Children missed their rooms and friends. Parents struggled to keep hope alive. Maria Flores flinched at every gust of wind, sleep elusive in the noisy shelter. "You feel unmoored," she said, "like a ship without an anchor." Insurance, the future, safety, everything was uncertain. Some residents returned daily to stare at the ruined building, mourning what was gone. They were caught in limbo, unable to go back, unsure how to move forward. The storm's wreckage was more than physical. It was emotional, lingering. The path ahead was long and unclear. The community's pain was raw. Healing would take time. The storm had passed, but its shadow remained. Every day was a struggle to reclaim normalcy. The loss was total. Yet hope flickered in small acts of resilience. The journey was just beginning. The future was uncertain, but they faced it together. Amid despair, the neighborhood rallied. St. Ignatius Church opened its doors, collecting donations, clothes, food, toys, filling its basement within hours. Local restaurants sent meals. A pizzeria delivered stacks of hot pizza. A coffee shop set up free breakfast outside the shelter. These acts of kindness were lifelines, reminding residents they weren't alone. A teacher launched a GoFundMe for Lakeside Manor families. Donations poured in, providing crucial financial help. Volunteers matched residents' needs with offers of help, rides, paperwork, support. The community became a network of care, a powerful counter to the destruction. The storm had torn apart a building, but revealed the strength of neighborhood bonds. Residents, though homeless, found themselves embraced by a larger family. Human connection became their greatest resource. Even as systems lagged, neighbors stepped up. The city's heart beat strong in every act of generosity. Recovery began with these small, vital gestures. The community's spirit was unbreakable. In the ruins, hope took root. Months passed, headlines faded, but the journey for Lakeside Manor's families continued. The building stood in limbo, wrapped in scaffolding, its fate uncertain. Most residents found new homes, scattered across the city, rebuilding lives piece by piece. The GoFundMe and church support helped many secure housing and counseling. Friendships forged in crisis endured. David Chen's family moved into a new apartment, welcomed by volunteers with donated furniture. A housewarming born from disaster. Maria Flores found a small senior apartment, decorated with reprinted photos and new flowers. A quiet act of defiance. Chicago is a city built on resilience, rising from fire and storm alike. The story of Lakeside Manor became part of that legacy, a testament to loss, but more so to community and endurance. The building was broken, but its people, supported by neighbors, began to heal. In the ruins, a powerful spirit endures. The city's heart beats on, and hope, battered but unbroken, remains.